Hello, today we will be covering Newt Scamander's newest addition to his book, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Hippogriff Coloration. Newt learned that coloration in hippogriffs is determined by two different genes, which will be represented by the letters A and B. An allele is a form of a gene, and a heterozygous individual has two different alleles, like big A, little a. The phenotype is what the creature looks like, in this case their color, while their genotype is the allelic composition of that creature, represented by letter abbreviations like big A, little a, big B, big B. Traits that are dominant will be the observed phenotype when crossed, while traits that are recessive will be hidden when crossed. There were only 3 observed colors in hippogriffs, with solid blue being seen the most, then piebald blue and white, and solid white seen the least. Newt realized epistasis must be occurring to cause the expression of only 3 phenotypes from the cross of 2 different genes. Epistasis is when the expression of a gene masks or modifies the expression of another gene at a different location in the DNA. The gene that masks or blocks the other gene is considered epistatic to the one it is modifying. Newt determined that B gene is epistatic to the A gene. Newt created the following pathway to determine how epistasis was occurring in hippogriff populations. Since gene B is epistatic to gene A, having either of these 2 genotypes would inhibit movement down the pathway. This is shown here on the pathway with the big B underscore inhibitor. The underscore represents little b or big B, as both result in the same genotype since big B is dominant. Thus, a hippogriff with a big B in their genotype must be solid blue in color. When the little b genotype is present, we can move down the pathway to the piebald coloration, where the genotype big A underscore acts as an inhibitor to move further down the pathway. Thus, a hippogriff with little b, and a big A in their genotype must be piebald and colored. When the little a genotype is present, we can move from piebald coloration to solid white, as there is not a big A inhibiting this color change. Thus, a hippogriff with the little a, genotype will end up being solid white. Newt then mated 2 hippogriffs that were heterozygous for both the A and B gene. He used a Punnett square, the diagram pictured, to predict the genotypes of the offspring. As seen underneath the Punnett square, there are 4 different genotypes produced from mating hippogriffs heterozygous for both traits. When epistasis occurs, different genotypes can lead to the same expressed phenotype or color. Here we can see these 9 and these 3 offspring have a big B in their genotype, and based on the epistatic pathway will be solid blue. These 3 offspring have 2 little b's and a big A, moving them down the pathway but stopping them at the piebald coloration since big A acts as an inhibitor here. This offspring with 2 little b's and 2 little a's moves all the way down the pathway and will be solid white. This 12:3:1 ratio shows hippogriff coloration is a form of single dominant epistasis, meaning a dominant allele found in one gene will mask or modify the expression of the other alleles. Since B is epistatic to A, the genotype big B underscore will result in the same phenotype no matter what is expressed at the A gene. Next, Newt mated 2 hippogriffs with the following genotypes and used this Punnett square to predict the genotypes of the offspring. As seen underneath the Punnett square, there are only 2 different genotypes produced from this cross, and both have a big B allele. Looking at our epistatic pathway, the big B allele inhibits movement down the pathway because the B gene is epistatic to the A gene and masks it. Therefore, the only offspring produced from this cross will be solid blue hippogriffs. Thanks for watching, and here's a list of my references.